What's up, YouTube? Okay, let's start. Instead of partying, let's get serious, no? What is up, YouTube? What is up? What is up? How are you doing today? Yeah, we're gonna cover some price action, some Elliott waves. I just got home, had some lunch, and jumped on the live stream as this morning I had a meeting in Rotterdam. No, that's wrong, in Breda. I had to travel through Rotterdam to get to Breda. So I was pretty much gone from the moment I uploaded the video this morning at around 7-ish a.m., 7:15, 7:20. That's when the video was online. Immediately afterwards, went to the train and went to Breda. Was there the whole morning and just came back, had some food, and here we are. So let's get started. Now, I do have to go to Amsterdam later, so I will already say that I cannot upload a 7 p.m. update tonight. Reason being that my fiance resigned from her work as she is going to follow the entrepreneurial route. She resigned, and the company is giving a farewell party, and I will attend. So therefore, I will be in Amsterdam, and we're gonna have dinner, maybe go into the city after, and then tomorrow morning, you can expect a new update. You're gonna see how my voice is tomorrow morning, but you know what I mean, right? Like, it's gonna be a good evening, and then tomorrow morning will be the new next update for the YouTube channel. So yeah, she stops working on the 27th, I guess, at the end of this month, somewhere before we go to South Africa. And then she has like holiday while we're there, and we have our marriage and stuff, full holiday. And then from April onwards, she is going to be all by herself, even though she has a husband, which is going to be me. But entrepreneurial wise, she's going to try to get things done, which I very much like to see. So YouTube, how are you doing? What's up, everyone? Good to have you here. Welcome in this live stream. We are going to cover this range, talk about the probabilities. I do understand that the morning video had quite a few different scenarios, so I can imagine it might be confusing to people that might not know Elliott waves very well. So that is why in this video, I like to talk a little bit more about the different scenarios and also an update of the probabilities. And yeah, then we go into chatting and Q&A, no? So that is what we are going to do here on the channel. Let's see if we get anything spicy. I can be here for about like till like 4:15 p.m. and then I have to start making headway to travel to Amsterdam. So FYI, just so you are prepared. So, okay. Before we go into Elliott waves, we always say hi. Flotty, Kevin, Adrian, what's up? Mark, dancing again behind your desk at home or your phone or wherever you are. You know, always dancing. What's up, Mark? Just moving sideways. Yes. However, the moves that we did get today give us a bit more clarity. Because on the lower time frames, we can see a lot of three-wave structures. We didn't get an impulsive structure to the downside. Probabilities are much higher. This is a three-wave structure. I'll explain why. Which therefore also impacts the probabilities. So there's definitely some stuff to talk about locally in the range, which we will do, of course. Smack that like button on the way in. That's what we like to hear, Mark. Thanks. Freaking knife catch a bit ago and that one yesterday. Week's already been fun. I mean, Bitcoin has been ranging, but it sounds like you had some action on some other pairs here. I mean, it's a range, but there's still some sharp moves, absolutely. B-Channel, what's up? Welcome to the Diamond team. Yesterday, B-Channel joined Diamond. I can imagine B-Channel, it might be overwhelming with the amount of stuff that's going on in Diamond, but make sure to check the FAQ, and you will very quickly find your way. And else we have everyone there helping you out as well. Bruno, what's up? How you doing? Kann man dir einmal mit Fragen stellen? problem. Die wird vermutlich länger. You can always ask questions also in the emails. That's no problem. So if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Good morning from California. Steve Moody, what's up? Hopefully not Moody today. The man, the myth, the legend. Mark Skywalker, good morning. How you doing? Good to have you here. Oru Tagawal from India. Quite a lot of people from India here as well. Dev, how you doing? Welcome. Nick, what's up? Nicholas, good morning from the US. There is Tom, newest member. Joined in silver today, so say hi to Tom. What's up? How you doing? Welcome. I gave you access everywhere as well, so you should be good, I think. Adiras, dump it already. We're gonna talk about the stuff happening here. Thanks, Time Alone. Welcome as well. Dragoniel, welcome, and Christian from Switzerland also joining. Let's start with what we like to do on the channel, Elliott Waves. Now, the only thing that is going to be repetitive probably is going to be this one. As you know, this one has been on my chart for a long time, and we're going to cover it because of the context. But after this scenario, things are going to change, which is interesting. Always got some new stuff to say. So let's start with the analysis, and then afterwards we get to chatting and Q&A. Also, let me do this a little bit higher for me. You can't see relax anymore, but that's okay. That's okay. Okay, let's start. Let's get this going. So, context. We are looking for a three-wave structure to the upside, right? Now, most commonly, wave B or 2 likes to retrace to this area here. 382, 886, 418, 391 is the common target for B. Common target for 2 is the 05786, 411, 396. This low here did not touch the 382, is made before the 0.382 here. Not the greatest probabilities that is the low. However, we want to see local weakness, which at the moment we don't really see. Therefore, we also have a scenario still to get us down over here, which is the flat structure. More about that in a second. Time-wise, we are now behind the 0.382, so finishing any corrective structure after the 0.382 would be valid for a wave B or 2, even though finishing anything up here without touching the 382 is a very shallow corrective structure, increasing the probabilities if we do move up and we continue towards about 46, 47 here, that this is a wave B and then a wave A, B, and a wave C to the upside. But we're going to check about what happens locally here, right, in a second. Invalidation is taking this low at 38.5k. So let's then start with the bearish scenario, which is a flat. And as you can see, something has changed here. For the ones that have been following the past couple of videos, actually for quite a while already, and that is the position of this wave A. So I can put wave A over here, or I can put wave A over here. If I put wave A over here, I'm going to be looking for a wave A, a wave B, and then eventually a wave C to the upside, right? Preferably, we're looking for a zigzag structure in a wave B. However, this move from the low at the moment is very three-wavy. Unless we are looking for a diagonal here, for then a wave A, B, C, that's not great probabilities. But what is mainly a little bit of an issue for me is if we are looking for a wave A, B, C, it's not that easy to get a wave B down here, ending wave B over here. I can count a W, X, Y ending that over here, but it's very difficult to have a wave A here, right, for then an A, B, C, right? And then have wave B end at this low. So we might actually think about it a little bit and see if we can figure something out, but it's very difficult to get a wave B to end here for then a wave C to the upside following the rules of Elliott waves. So therefore what I did is move the A, which then means that inside this wave A we are looking for a WXY, which I will show in a second. This move up could become a double zigzag. ABC, corrective structure, and then another ABC. Target area for wave B is now taken from the start to the end of A. Potentially I can still put it on the low to get a little bit more leeway. I might actually do that as we speak, just to have a little bit of a bigger target area. So you will see over here that I will then put the upper 1.382 also on the chart like this, no? Ta-da. And because I am a perfectionist and I see this is incorrect, we do this. Voila. So it gives us a little bit more room for then a three-wave structure. Wave B most commonly is a zigzag family structure. Simple zigzags, double zigzags, right? So we would then be looking for a move to the upside. Three-wave move up, corrective structure down, another move towards the upside. Likely then in, of course, three waves. That's what we want to see if we think about a B in this case. Then we want to have resistance here, observe weakness, see some proof of resistance, market structure changes, volume dying down, a big range over here, CVD divergences, RSI, MACD, whatever you use, right? Doesn't matter. And then we look for a 5-wave impulsive structure to the downside in a wave C, where we are then going to greet the potential low of B or 2 inside this target area, right? Now, if price moves to the upside, right, this is the scenario in a little bit more detail. So keep in mind, we are then looking for an A, B, C. Inside wave A, we then have our W, flat in this scenario. Flat because of wave Y being a zigzag. But let me show in a bit more detail why. So the 0.9, ta-da. The 0.9 has been hit, which is a minimum target for a flat in a 335. It's not the nicest flat, one has to say, but you know, if we want to end wave Y here, it has to be a flat. Reason is that this wave Y is a three-wave structure here. That has to be a zigzag. Wave W and Y cannot be a zigzag in a sideways double combo structure, a sideways WXY. Feel free to ask a question about this in a second, because if we have a double zigzag, we have a zigzag in W, X, and Y. That is a sharp corrective structure, as we like to call it, right? So you have a sharp move down where wave X is not touching the 0.7 Fibonacci from the high to the low of W. If I take a fib from the high of the low, from the high to the low of W, put this on 07, you can see that here the 0.7 has been hit. And that's not what we want to see in a double zigzag. So therefore the probabilities are low that this is a zigzag and this is a zigzag to finish wave Y here, right? So that is the background story. And then we're looking for a W, X, and a Y. Now to the upside over here, we are then looking for a three-wave structure, right? Quite a nice and clear three-wave structure ending here on the highest amount of volume, as wave C's like to do as well. And then we move towards the downside here. And this move to the downside is too deep to count a impulse in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This being a wave 4, retrace too deep. Increasing probabilities. This is a three-wave structure to the upside. Of course, there is the potential 1, 2, 1, 2. But in this case, your second wave 1 ended on highest volume. And that's just not really something that we like to see. So therefore, a three-wave structure has a bit of a higher probability. ABC potential. Now then we have a move to the downside here. This move here ended on the highest amount of volume before retracing back to the upside. If this was over here, a wave 3 to the downside, impulsive move down, volume coming in, what are we looking for? We are looking for another range and then another low, making a lower low on lower volume. However, the invalidation for a wave 4, if we are then looking for 1, 2, 3, and eventually 4 and 5, would be the 0.618 that you take from the high of 2, whichever high it is. It doesn't even matter because most of these have hit the golden pocket anyway. So that invalidates an impulse to the downside, increases probabilities that this move down is also a three-wave structure. also a three-wave structure. Very likely here on the 5-minute, another three-wave structure. Now, the good thing about seeing a three-wave structure here towards the downside, right, this one, is that it increases the probabilities of upside. Quite interesting. In this range, in this range here. Because if you are really looking for much lower prices, preferably you're going to see impulsive structures from a high, right? Not three-wave moves, that's corrective structures. So therefore, this is one of the scenarios where in X, yeah, we could potentially move down a little bit further, right? That's absolutely no problem, whatever. But the probabilities would be low for price to take this low, of course, in this scenario. That's not what you want to see. A little bit of an explanation. Now, if we then zoom out to the daily, I've been talking about the daily gap as well for a while. Because what we shouldn't forget, right? Let me zoom out again. Potentially A1, B2, and then a C3, right? One of the scenarios we keep in mind is the flat as explained, A, B, C. But if price moves up here towards the wave B, as mentioned, we want to see proof of resistance. We want to see weakness because that target area for B is in the middle of the daily gap. And this daily gap has acted as resistance for the past week. Here it acted as resistance first, move down. Then again. It doesn't matter. It just continuously ranges below this gap over here. If we manage to enter the gap and close candles here, then from a gap trading perspective, probabilities are higher to fill the gap, which would then mean 45.5k, which is far above the target for a wave B. Only if we see good weakness here am I interested in a move to the downside, which then of course works with a potential B2. But if we continue, it's the way it is. If I don't see weakness, it's the way it is. We don't control price. We trade probabilities. I want to observe the reaction. The reaction will give me probabilities. If we see price moving to the upside impulsively, what do we wait for? I always say this on the channel. We wait for a range to form. We want to see a bit of a range to form, and a range will give us most of the information that we are looking for. So if price moves up on volume, eventually, maybe now, maybe later, what are we looking for in this area? A range. If we don't see a range and price just keeps pushing, we just follow price to the upside, no? In this area, we do have a little bit of additional resistance, as you can see over here, which is the blue box, 43.9, 44.7, and we have a weekly at the lower end over here, 43.950. Cool. That's your first scenario, explained in a little bit of detail. Now then, continuation of the range would be a WXY within Y a triangle. It's a bit too early to call this one, in my opinion, because I prefer to look for triangles only when a wave D is in, right? So we then have our W and X over here, same places for W and X, but then you're looking for a wave A, B, C, D, E. We are not even at D, very potentially this might be C. The thing is, I want a D, right? As long as I don't have a D, in other words, as long as we don't really move down again, it's too early, but I still want to at least have the idea. But what you want to look at in this case is the confluence between the scenarios. So in the scenario just now, potentially we're looking for a WXY. Here we're looking for a triangle. What's the confluence between the scenarios? Confluence between the scenarios is that this is your invalidation. And that is what Elliott Waves is about, right? We don't always have to be exactly correct with the exact scenario, and it's about having the right direction, right? In this case, we just continue the range, and the invalidation is the double bottom as well. Same when we look at a bigger triangle. Now, I only put this one on the chart because I saw it coming by. But also here, we're unlikely to be at D. So I put it on the chart just because it's, I saw it, but I prefer other structures, other scenarios until a D is in. Your wave A is long, your wave B is very long. If this is your wave C, it's incredibly short. So preferably that's not your wave C, and you would make a WXY double zigzag in a wave C. Take the double bottom. We do have bullish divergences, which would be against wave C taking the double bottom, in that case, the invalidation of all of the scenarios is this low over here, no? The low of A. But yeah, this is too early for me to look at this structure. But at least I wanted to talk about it shortly. Now, the bullish scenario, in case the others were not like bullish, is that this is your end of B. As mentioned at the beginning, it's a struggle to end the B here for a 535. So if this is the end of your B, which is a possibility here, and then either a WXY or an ABC, then this is your low. You got to be looking for an impulsive structure up in a wave C, either a diagonal or an impulse. That becomes a bit of a problem with what we have over here, because you're going to be looking for a wave 1, 2, but wave 2 hit the 886, which is very rare for a wave 2. That's a low probability target for a wave 2. And then you want to see a wave 3 to the upside. Yeah. And because of the three-wave structure, if this is a wave 3, then you also have to think about a diagonal now, where this is your 1, 2, then you have a complex structure in your wave 3, then you get a 4 and a 5, meaning we're just going to grind towards the upside. It just doesn't have the greatest probabilities at the moment. So when we look at the probabilities from an Elliott Wave perspective at the moment, to summarize the scenarios, the highest probability, right, let me actually zoom out shortly. So the highest probability of this range is, where is it? Not that one. Continuing the range, sideways price action, before then later taking the highs before the lows. Or this one. Taking the highs before the lows. So the probabilities are now geared towards continuing a range / upside. And I don't care which one it is, but this is what the probability suggests from an Elliott Wave point of view, as explained by the analysis as well. So, yeah. And if price does move up here, right, if we don't continue the range, if we move up, we observe the reaction, because there is the potential for continuation to the upside to fill the gap to 45.5, where also we have resistance just above between 45.9 and 46.7K. This is important resistance as well for price. So if I take a quick fib, let's see what the target is. If we are looking, so if this is the lowest point of the range and we are looking for an ABC to the upside, your common target area, oh, that's a high one. Your common target area for your wave C is here. That is very high. That is probably at the 786. Wait, I have a scenario to check this. That is in the 786, 886 area. 786 is still a common target for wave B2, but it's actually very rare. If this is over here, your A, this is your lowest point for a B, and if you're then looking for a C up, it's very unlikely a wave C is not going to reach at least the 1-to-1. And the 1-to-1 is above the main area of resistance I have here. That's like my final real resistance. I guess there's maybe a little value area high. Okay, this is your final resistance here. That's absolutely like this. That's the final thing. So, but that is still below the 1-to-1. So through the time frames, highest probability is still eventually getting a low for B or 2 to move up in C or 3, making a lower low inside this target area. Locally, probabilities are then higher for a flat structure, right? Where eventually we look for a move to the upside and a rejection, but we want to observe the reaction, right? Not interested in shorting if we push up on volume and we don't see weakness. More locally in the range, we're looking for either this scenario, upside, or a continuation of the range and upside later, as currently probabilities are higher to either range/upside. Reason for this is all of the local three-wave structures we have going on at the moment. 3, 3, 3, 3 just continues. And because of all the three-wave structures and no impulsive structures to the downside, it increases the probabilities to take the highs before the lows at the moment. Oh, and we have the CVD divergences still. So bullish CVD divergences also help, of course, where the target is this high and this high. This is the range, just to show you. Nothing really new to add here. We're now above the point of control again. It's just a range around the point of control, really. 1 hour range, pulled from the order block here to the end. So now before I go into chatting, I do like to just think about bearish scenarios, because we always need to be unbiased, as we are, but it's just probability, so we don't have a bias. It's probabilities from an Elliott Wave point of view. I'm just gonna, this is a little bit of live stuff. So this might go a little bit quick. Hopefully you can follow it. Okay, if we are looking for a flat structure, we want to see a wave A, B, and eventually a wave C. Now wave B does not have to go to the 1.236 to the 1.38 target. The minimum target is the 0.9. Taking a fib from the high to the low of wave A. I'm actually also talking to myself now. It's only that over 100 people are watching, but if we, because I'm thinking, so the 0.9 is a minimum target. The 0.9 was hit here, but that's a scam wick, so it doesn't count, and this candle after did not hit it, and we didn't hit the 0.9. So a flat structure to the downside already has low probabilities in a wave A, B, and a wave C. So even if your wave A would be over here, we still did not touch the 0.9 taken from the high to the end over here. We are not even close. We still need more upside. So an ABC is very unlikely to move price towards the downside without at least moving up first. This move to the downside here has a higher probability of being a three-wave structure, not a five-wave structure. Therefore, if we are looking for a wave A, it has to be a three-wave A, and we're looking automatically for a flat in an ABC. If we're looking for a zigzag, then we need a 5, a 3, and eventually ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, and another 5. But if this is a three-wave structure in an ABC, your wave C did not take the high of your wave A, which is low probabilities, and is as in an expanding flat, where wave B ends below the start of wave A. Wave C by far most commonly takes the high of your wave A, which did not happen. Therefore, a 5 and then ta-ta-ta-ta-ta and another 5 in a zigzag has low probabilities, besides wave B being extremely long compared to a potential 5 wave A. So therefore, ABCs are low probabilities. Then we get to a WXY. Wave W over here can be a zigzag or a flat. If this is a zigzag to the downside in a wave W, a double zigzag has a low probability because the 0.7 has been hit, taken from the high to the low of W. And if we think about a double zigzag, then wave X preferably stays below the 0.7. So the fact the 0.7 has been hit lowers the probabilities for a double zigzag structure. Doesn't mean wave Y cannot be a zigzag, as we can potentially still have a flat in here in a wave W. So then we have a flat in a wave W, we get our X, and then we still look for a zigzag to the downside in a wave Y. Problem is, if we put wave X over here, then we are looking for already a finished zigzag. Wave Y cannot by itself have an internal WXY. So this being over here a W, looking for an X and another wave Y, is not possible in this wave X and therefore not preferred. So if we are looking for a zigzag to the downside in X or in Y, then preferably your wave X is not yet finished. And then we have to somehow puzzle this inside a three-wave corrective structure for a wave X. Now a little bit of thinking here. We either have two options again, ABC or a WXY. I'm going to think about this later. If we are looking for wave X to finish over here and wave Y then has two other options, instead of a zigzag it can be a flat structure as well as a triangle. Now in a flat structure you want price to retrace at least to the 0.9. You're expecting a 3, 3 and eventually a 5. Now taking a fib from the high to the low here, and the 0.9 has not been hit. Besides, the move that we have to the downside at the moment over here does not look to be a 5-wave structure. It looks to be a 3-wave structure, lowering the probabilities for an impulse down in a potential flat ABC together with the 0.9. Very unlikely that is the scenario. And then we have a triangle, but it's still a bit too early to call the triangle here. And in the end, a triangle would continue the sideways range. While if wave Y is already in with a zigzag, we expect a move up. In both cases, you'll take the highs before the lows. Voilà. Some live thinking. Usually this is so when I have a range like this is how I just go through it. I put all the counts on my chart and then I just talk like to myself in my thoughts. Be like, okay, if this is a 3-wave, what did B do? If this is a 5-wave, what did B, you know? And then you just check the boxes. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Oh, it doesn't work. Out, out, out. Oh, this works. Okay, keep it. Okay. So if this is the high of X, it's probably the probabilities are higher to take the high or continue ranging and take the high later. If we have X somewhere else, is that even possible? Well, inside the wave X, there we go again. We're either looking for an ABC or a WXY. This move to the downside, quite interestingly, can be labeled both the 3 as a 5-wave, but as an ABC, this being an ABC for a flat, B did not retrace low enough. So then we have to think about a zigzag in a 5, 3, 5. However, having an A here, ending B here, I know already because I put a little bit of time in it, has low probabilities because it's not easy to get a wave B down here if your high of A is here. You can have a wave W, X, Y, right? That's a complex structure, which can only be a wave A, which can be a wave B, and then a C, but this is a 3-wave move, so that doesn't work. If we end wave D here, then we have potentially A, B, C, and A, B, C, 3, 3, 5 in that case, with an expanding diagonal in C. This is then your, no, then again, well, A, B, C, that's a flat. It can be a W, X, Y. Flat X zigzag, but that would mean this is your end. And then you want to, if this is the high of your A, you want to have 5 waves to the upside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The problem is we have a 3-wave structure to begin with. So then we need a diagonal in wave C, which means a grind towards the upside, and then a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, end of X over here, and then you move down in Y, which then also means you take the highs before the lows. So that's kind of like debunking what I'm trying to do here. If we are then looking for a WXY, then we have a W to the upside, meaning a 3-wave structure. Oh wait, we can also put wave A over here, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is live thinking. I know I go very quick. I'm not paying attention to people that are both experienced or very new. But I'm just quickly counting myself to see what the probabilities are of actually taking the low before the high. So that is what we're figuring out here. For some, it might be interesting to see this happening. For others, maybe not. But cool. So we continue. If you have a 5 waver to the upside and this is your high, of course the invalidation is taking this low, and then we have a this then needs to be a 3 wave structure because this high got taken. So it can't be a 5 waver in this case. So this has to be a 3 for then a potential flat. Because the high got taken. And this is a scam wick, by the way, where I put this one. So it should be this one. But this can't be your wave A, B, C, because wave C is a 3-wave structure. It has to be a 5 waver. So then you need a higher B, but in that case, it's very unlikely that this is your high, and you would still take this high. Which is what we're trying to debunk. So, because then you're going to be looking for a bigger 3-wave move for a B and then a wave C, but yeah. You're going to take the highs. So, okay. WXY then. If we have a W somewhere here, we need to find a place for an X and then eventually another Y. This has to be, W has to be a zigzag to the upside, can't be a flat, priced in and retrace deep enough. Can't be anything else. Wave W can only be a zigzag or a flat structure, so it has to be a zigzag, which means that wave Y is not allowed to be a zigzag because wave X, or at least low probabilities, because wave X retraced to the 0.7 Fibonacci from the low to the high of W, lowering probabilities for a double zigzag. So that means wave Y has a high probabilities of being a triangle or a flat. Now, in that case, you're then going to be looking for sideways price action, WXY, after which you expect a move to the downside. But that first means we need to find a way to end wave X here, which is a little bit of a challenge. Let's have a look. A, B, C. There you go again. Then you have a W over here. A, triangle, A, B, C, W, and then you need an X. Then you need your X, and then because W is a zigzag, wait, I'm messing up here. Beautiful. W and then WX, ABC, A, B, C, D, E. Yes, we may have, okay. WX. Y can only be a triangle, or Y can be a flat. But if this is the low here, W, wait, X, if we're looking for a flattened wave Y, then the retracement is deep enough, but you don't have a 5-wave structure to the upside for wave C, and you didn't take the high, which generally has low probabilities for a flat. So then we would be looking for a continuation of the range, which is one of the probabilities that I just mentioned, is a continuation of the range or taking the highs before the lows. So this would be, or this would result in a continuation of the range, after which we can reassess probabilities at a later stage. WX, flat X, and then eventually we look for Y. Okay, let's now put it on the chart with some official stuff. Stop overthinking, bro, lol. Sir, you have no idea how Elliott waves work. It equals overthinking. Because as an Elliott wave analyst, you're always thinking about other scenarios, trying to make sense of the structure. So what I'm doing here is something you should be thankful of, is doing live Elliott wave analysis, thinking, like showing you what happens in the background, which clearly you don't know. If you would have counted Elliott waves yourself, you would actually know. Yes, it's a chop zone, but it's about probabilities. And what I want to know is probabilities. That's what I'm looking for. So we have probabilities already mentioned earlier in the live stream, if you were there. And now what I'm trying to do is find a scenario where we take the lows before the highs. And therefore, what I'm showing people here on live stream, which should be educational, instead of overthinking, it's actually educational, is to show the process of finding scenarios which you then can use for probabilities. So it has nothing to do with overthinking. It is trying to find a solution of the puzzle that we are in. Yes, I can zoom out, right? I can zoom out to a 4-hour time frame, which I already did, actually, and then just say, okay, everyone, probabilities are higher for wave B or 2 to end here, somewhere in the 302.886 area, and that's it. But then you would also have the same content for a period of pretty much 11 days, besides the fact that I really enjoy counting. So I don't take it, offense not taken, but it's part of the job. So what I'm trying to figure out is there a bearish scenario here? But this bearish scenario would also lead to a continuation of the range, which is the same result as we came to for the bullish scenario as well. Bullish is range / upside, bearish is range and downside, but then continuation of the range, and we will get more. Bro, sarcasm doesn't come through text, bro. It's difficult to know sarcasm through text. That's a true thing. It's difficult, like when it's difficult to assign sarcasm to comments. Yeah. But no offense taken, don't worry. But in the end, it's that this is Elliott waves. It's puzzling. So anyway, let's continue first. So what we are looking for, right, is then a WXY complex structure in an X. Can't be a double zigzag unless wave W is a flat, which is a possibility. But then we are looking for impulsive structures down in the wave Y. This is not an impulsive structure at the moment, lowering the probabilities for a zigzag in wave Y. You can still have a double zigzag here and then move up once more, but then you really want to see bearish CVD divergences here instead of building the bullish CVDs that we are having all the time at the moment. If this is a bearish triangle, we want to see bearish CVDs building, preferably between C and E. Zigzag, and ABC flat, and then A, B, C, D. Quickly checking. So we do have some bearish CVD divergences, not actually with the high, only with lower highs, with this one here. Lower high on price, higher high CVD, higher high CVD here, also here by the way. So that's here, target, low. If that would play out, but not forget, we also have this going on, the bullish ones. So it's a bit of a counter between the two. Now, of course, another question one may ask is that if this is your X, W, X, and then wave Y to the upside here. Oh wait, this wave Y can only be a flat or a triangle. A flat would probably mean take the high, and it's not a 5-wave structure. So now we have to think about a triangle, which equals continuation of the range, A, B, C, D, E, and then we drop. But that means we still have time for more updates as well to reassess the probabilities at a later stage. And this, of course, has to be a wave A. It looks quite impulsive, but there's not really a way I can put wave X here. I gotta put it here. So let me at least save this. What was that? What? Okay. Right. Okay. So this is one scenario for the WXY. Right. We tick the boxes. Sorry, it's still the edge. God damn. It's still the itch or whatever it is, dry throat. It's fucking annoying. But anyway, we already, like, it's already been going on for like a month now, so I better just visit the doctor and get some stuff. It's pissing me off. So WXY, we have one scenario, which is pretty much the best scenario that I could think of. No, you can't have a flat in here, ABC. So yeah, probabilities are higher to either, you know, continue raging or take the highs at the moment, also with the bullish CVD divergences. So that is the conclusion. But at least we found arguably a potential bearish scenario, which would still lead in a continuation of the range first. So that makes risk management relatively easy. So yeah, may actually have a little bit of bullish CVD as well on the 3-minute, no? Yeah, so on the 3-minute we actually have bullish CVD divergences. On the 5-minute it shows bullish and bearish. So let's see what happens there. But for now, let's put the range on the chart. Ah, point of control. We hit the point of control again. Okay, and yeah, it's 1 minute. New York goes open, by the way. So in 40 seconds, the New York market opens. So let's see what happens if New York is open. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So if we do this... Ah, shit, I forgot to check. When did I start my analysis? Uh-oh. We are 54 minutes in the stream, but when did I start? I started 43 minutes ago, so that is around the 10-minute mark then. Okay, so I'll just write 10 minutes. Elliott Wave analysis at 10 min. Who is going to win the Super Bowl? Which two teams are playing the final? I'm not too familiar. Usually the halftime shows is what you see online, not the actual match, at least in my case. Now chatting and Q&A, and then we do fan funding, and then we go back to live chat so that we have a bump. And then I can pin the message. Ta-da! KC versus San Francisco. Okay, I'm a complete noob, so I would have a guess, complete 100% guess. So San Francisco. Okay, let's have a quick look. Where were we? Nice color, the green color in the chat. The wicks are a bit different, that's correct. Hamidreza Shwari. Every chart has a little bit different wicks. Bogdan, how are you doing? Welcome. Good to have you here. What's up? Errol, welcome as well. B Team Crypto, what's up? Abuzni Sok, welcome as well. Never say I want a... Ah, yeah. Oh, we're going to stay away from that quote. What's up, Coffeeholic? MCLZ, what's up? The same structure in August on the daily candles. I like the range. Yeah, it's been a range for a while now. Liquid Mafia, what's up? Welcome. I think you said something later about you shared a chart. Manoj Kumar. What's up? How you doing? Brinks. Welcome. I was wondering what platform you use for futures. Link is in the description. I use BingX myself already for a very long time. So I'm actually happy they are a partner of the channel as well. As before the channel, I used them. So that's pretty cool. And if you want to support the channel as well, those are affiliate links. And if you want to check out BingX, not support the channel, just Google online for BingX. Ring chart update posted. Let's have a look at what Liquid Mafia has been cooking. Yeah, Rodkopska. That's right. How are you doing, Rodkopska? Okay, Liquid Mafia. So Liquid Mafia has a very unique style of analysis, which includes Fibonacci rings, or at least ring charts. I see, I mean, those are, I think, officially Fib rings, the tool. But yeah, it's a ring. So, and those charts that he posts are really cool. So make sure to check them. There's a whole bunch of them. But they're very nicely respected. At the moment, there's a ring cross that is in the works. I do suspect over the next 24 or 28 hours, we get some form of movement in this chart. I've labeled more downside targets as there are many more levels of support and resistance. That implies that probabilities are that if it is down, it is most likely slow and grinding. If upside, then I suspect it's faster. The last cross was in September, and it is what marked the low before heading to where we are now. Best of luck for whatever side you play. Note, this is one ring chart. Another ring chart I have holds 44.9 and 43.8k as potential upside targets. This may be targets met before heading lower. I'd observe the reactions. That's pretty much the same as the flat. Wait, it's opening in my other browser. No. Yep. $49 is very high, if that's the resistance. But as you said, you also have resistance at the 44 area. 40.5, that is close to the daily order block here as well, and my target box for support. So that is a nice one. 38.7 would be very low, unless this is a three-wave structure. But it looks more like we're looking for a bigger three-wave move up still. But these are, well, 36.7 is definitely a potential target if coming back later. A, B, C up and then come down again. This would be an interesting area. What's that? March. A, B, C, down, March, 36k, double cross, like an interesting one. Thanks for sharing, Liquid Mafia. There's so much going on here, which is nice to see. Are you trading the range? If there is a setup according to my plan, then yes. So I have, besides trading Elliott waves, I also have a personal developed strategy, which is my main, which includes Elliott wave stuff, but there's a lot more to it. And that one has been developed over the years on a lot of data. And it's quite simple. If the 7 rules that I have are checked, I have 7 entry requirements. If I can check the boxes, I just go. I have rules for my risk management. It's very simple, very easy. And whenever there's a setup and I have the opportunity to trade, because, you know, sometimes I have a meeting or I'm with family or whatnot, you know, I might not trade the setup. But whenever I can, I will. And then, yes, in this range, we then just trade whatever. Whenever there's a setup, there's a setup, yeah. They will clean out all the stops above before trending it lower after all this consolidation. Yeah, this is something I think PGT is very important. There's so much liquidity building here, which is also, by the way, strong support or resistance in the future. But there's so much liquidity building in this area that it will not be surprising to see price moving one direction, stop everyone out to then move the other direction. So, yeah. Hi, Koens. What about an ending diagonal from the 5th of Feb? Well, technically for me, this is the 5th of Feb, but maybe you're looking for this one here. It's interesting. This is at the beginning of the 5th of Feb and this one at the end of the day. In both cases, however, it's still too early for an ending diagonal. So we did speak about it shortly, right? We have to look for a diagonal, but that would still result in taking the highs. So for me, it's more important at the moment to know the probabilities taking the highs versus taking the lows, unrelated to the structure we necessarily have to move up. Because we can observe the reaction if price takes the highs or the lows, right? So a diagonal is a possibility, but it's too early for me. As with a diagonal, preferably, I start looking for diagonals around the 4th wave. It's pretty much the same as with triangles. So when there's a potential triangle, I prefer wave D to be in before actually labeling it as a triangle, because also WXY has a higher probability. Same with the diagonals. If you have a diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I prefer to wait for wave 4 to be in. Because up to that moment, there's other structures as well, like a double zigzag, for example. So we covered this. All good, Mr. Pasu. Nian Pasu. Thanks, Stephen. Let's just kind of woosa. Exactly. Personally, I want to know about your views about Bitcoin and crypto as a whole now as the ETF. So more liquidity and larger moves. Could you please share your thoughts? Yeah, I think it's interesting. So this is more a fundamental question, which is definitely not my expertise. So if there's a couple of fundamental analysts here and you use news or you use fundamentals in your trading, probably close your ears, because I'm not that I don't know too much about the fundamentals. So it's not an easy question for me to answer because of my lack of knowledge. So with regards to the ETF, the one thing that we were looking for was the obvious. Announce the ETF, get a pump up to get greed, and then move it down. That is what we were looking for when we were live during the ETF news, where actually pretty much nothing happened, basically. So this here, right, ETF announcement here. Price went pretty much sideways. But what we were looking for is a move up before taking it down. It came a day late, but it came eventually. So, and that was my fundamental expectation, right? To grab some liquidity, make people bullish, drag it up quickly, make people buy, and then just move it down, as the industry likes to do. Now, with regards to liquidity, there's of course only so much Bitcoin in the world, and you have such a large amount of traders that, yeah, you'll get funds and whatnot entering the industry, but I actually don't really think it impacts much to what we are used to in Bitcoin. We always have bigger moves at times, right? And most of the time Bitcoin ranges, which will undoubtedly remain the same, just like now as well. It's just ranging all the time, even though we have quite bigger like decent moves at least. But also there's big moves in general in Bitcoin with or without ETF. So I think what it does is it makes it a lot more accessible for investors instead of going to crypto platforms where on some platforms they are not able to convert their euros or their dollars into Bitcoin or USDT or whatever it is, right? For example, I think, yeah, you know what I mean? So you can't just go to any platform in the crypto industry and be like, oh, let me let me send some euros here. No, you might have to go to a platform, exchange your euros to USDT, and then transfer the USDT or Bitcoin or whatever you have to another platform from crypto to crypto. And of course, these type of things do hold back people that don't know much about the industry, but are also not willing to learn, which is interesting because usually when you invest or trade a certain area, in this case, crypto, Bitcoin, you probably want to know a little bit about how the industry works. Now you got to do your research, but it makes it more accessible for people, and with that, yeah, there is the potential of increased liquidity, which might result in people with bigger positions, like it's easier to trade, for example. But that depends on the platform again. So I think on a Bybit, Binance, BingX, KuCoin, whatever, you won't see a lot of difference with regards to liquidity and those type of things, right? So basically what I'm saying is I actually don't think much changes. It's just it makes it more accessible to people. They can invest in an ETF, which of course is traded, the ETF itself. But yeah, I don't really see the impact. The thing also with news is, and this is where my not news things come in, I'm purely technical, is the moment there's a big move, for example now, right, ETFs are there and la-di-la-la. So imagine we get a big move. First thing people think about is, oh damn, it's the ETFs. First thing that I'm thinking about is, oh, people are overbought, people are over-leveraged, people are selling, people are exiting their longs. So I think I have a technical mind, not a news-related mind. I don't follow any news. I only follow news because of all of you. Because I'm up to date with some stuff because of you in Discord and in the chat as well, talking about the ETS. And if it wasn't for you, if I would be trading all by myself, I'm rarely active on crypto Twitter. Like I follow other stuff on Twitter from my previous background, the gaming and esports industry. Probably I wouldn't even have heard about the ETF stuff if it wasn't for all of you, and I would just trade whatever. So yeah. Yeah, the only thing that I do follow with regards to news is, I actually need my new. Did I update this is my old news calendar. I can show the old news calendar anyway. Let's just show. So the only thing I follow with regards to news is if there's a red flag on a news website, and if it says red flag, I'm like, oh, might be some interesting volatility. 99 out of 100 times, I don't even know what it means. But for me, it's just interesting to see, okay, it's red, so there might be volatility, which means I have to potentially watch out with my positions. Stephen Elliott Wave is all the work. Let him do all the work, all the hard work for us. That's the way to go. Unless, of course, you want to learn as well, then you can see a little bit in the process that I had. Favorite live saying, love it when it's live. Keep it up. Pleasure, Sarah Sandikar. I love Elliott Waves too. Nyampasu also, so I want his views on that Elliott Waves during this no volatility zone. Yeah, it is very sideways, but that's also what makes it so interesting with regards to Elliott Waves. Also, thanks for being here for such a long time. What does the green... Oh, this is, of course, sarcastic. I really don't understand this kind of question. People think about... we can put it aside. But thanks for the compliment, by the way. With regards to Elliott Waves, I try to give you guys as much as I can. Like everything I think about is in the video and in the content. So yeah, no financial advice, obviously. Yeah. Kansas City should win, but it will be good. Okay, so KC is Kansas City. When is it? Is it tonight? What's up, Kenny, by the way? Welcome. Factor call, 11 minutes. 11 minutes, you mean? At 10, should it be 11 here? 11:30. Are you talking, Factor call, about the start of the analysis? Because I can't change it here. Taylor Swift will be there rooting for KC. Do we have some Swifties in the chat? I heard that the followers are called Swifties. Las Vegas. I'm doing good. Oh, wait. Kevin, you are Roodkopske? Yeah, it's not easy to keep up to date. Hey, we finally moving. Let's see what happens. We might actually test it. Like test the highs. Or have some action before I have to go to Amsterdam. Yanis, I missed the start. No worries. Good thing in live stream, you can always go back, of course. We are now testing the same resistance area again here, right? Simple support resistance area. What's up, John, by the way? Hey, you're green. Welcome. Gotta check. But retest 43K and moon. Retest 43K. That's where we are now. So let's see. We have a bit of volume coming in here at the lows. Right, so yeah. I will jump to the lower time frame in a second. 5-minute impulse structure since the low this morning. It does not look like ABC up previous shot like last few years. Yeah. Look, if this is a 1-2-1-2, you can expect a much bigger move, right? Boss, possible 46,600, last lower high, 46,600. I mean, that is an area of interest as we have resistance here. Based on what we see at the moment, even if you would go for a flat structure, then yes, this target area has a high probability of being touched at a certain moment, as we are at least looking for a three-way structure, if not an impulse up. But if this is your first structure in an A, and you're looking, if this is your B, your C target is above the box even. But even if you go down in a flat, probabilities are high, you're going to go up later. And then fill the gap at a later stage, the daily gap, right? So then you reject in the middle, come down, and then move up the second time. So yeah, probabilities would be quite okay, but we gotta wait and see if that is a direct move based on observing the reaction, or if we first come down again. That depends on this area here, no? 5K, 46K with open interest going down, and I'm adding to my short. Yeah, it's an important area of resistance, absolutely. And then that is where, if I'm looking for short positions, then the 47K area is the area where I would observe reaction, like the reaction. Of course, also here, as mentioned. But it's in the middle of the gap, so I definitely want to see a bit of a range before considering shorts from an Elliott Wave point of view. It's not interesting to me at the moment to look for shorts. So yeah, but start of the analysis. Okay, so it's 11:30. Oh no, it is. Thanks, Factor Call. I appreciate that. So what we're gonna do is, because some people come in and they're like, Give me the analysis. I'm not interested in chatting. So we do this. Then we unpin the message. We quickly go to fan funding, and then we go back to live chat, get a bump. So we can pin the message. Reason I can't pin it without getting the bump here is because of this. It's interesting that YouTube gives the opportunity to creators to send their own stream like hearts and stuff. Lucas, are you walking already, or are you still a little bit sick? Will the chart go up or down, and where should I set my TP if I enter now? Lucas is trolling. Luckily, I know Lucas already, super psycho in Discord, by the way, for a long time now. So I suppose we got used to each other a little. So trolling. Lucas is a diamond member, and he knows the stuff I'm looking for anyway. So what's up, Lucas? But are you walking again? Are you like up and running, healthy, fit? Douwe, welcome. Good to have you here. What's up? How you doing, Douwe? Technical Chacha, welcome. Knowledge of power. Thanks so much, boss. My pleasure. What does it mean when it's ranging? Ooh, I mean distribution, right? Just consolidation. People selling, people buying. Exchange of goods. Yeah, one can have many terms, but wave in Elliott Wave terms, wave 2, wave B, wave X, wave Y, wave Z, wave 4. So yeah, we still sick and moved in with 2 of my friends today, so I am done for today. I can imagine. I'm moving from A to B is one of the few activities I really do not enjoy. Moving, like houses and stuff. I do not enjoy working on a house. I don't enjoy moving my stuff from A to B. It's so messy. I just want to drop my stuff and be like, ta-da, or everything is inside. But yeah, been there, done that. Nice that you moved at least with a few friends as well. That's fun. So that's good. It's nice to be with people you know very well as well. Maybe a band-aid? Yeah, I've paid a few bucks in fees on the short already, lol, but adding to a winning trade is why I like knife catches so much. Just have to pay super close. Yeah, close attention. Absolutely. So, but at the 46, 47K area, you also have some additional confluence for a potential short if we see what we want to see in that area, of course. Vacations for me are little verhuizingen, like little movements. But what do you mean, Douwe? Like, or you mean if you go on holiday, you get your luggage with you, and you go from it. Yeah. I mean, in that from that perspective, if you go on holiday, you do live with your backpack or your suitcase for a short period of time in another place. But that's no problem. It's just that if you got to move your couch and your bed and your blah blah and all, you got the boxes all and everything, it's like, man, get me out. It luckily, like, there's, of course, you can just buy the service, so people come and pick everything up and get it out, like this disassemble your stuff. Also my family always likes to help, but yeah. I like the vacations. Actually, I'm looking to buy a suitcase because when I go to South Africa at the end of this month, don't worry, there will still be content, but it will definitely be a little bit like of a different structure, a different content plan throughout the weeks and stuff, because I won't really be there too much, because I will be in South Africa. So the content plan will be a little bit different. But I have to get a suitcase. So I'm actually now looking at suitcase brands. And my backpack is very nice. So, yeah. I might go for the same brand. Big rejection indeed. Some volume coming in as well. A little bit of a liquidity grab from the highs here. So that is quite interesting. Still acting as resistance. Still acting as resistance. So now New York is open, so we can see what's up. No? See if New York wants to finally break out of the range. If I am your student, I see a teacher, a lecturer, professor, as I slowly grind your info. Using the trading terms there. Shasidar Atmakuri, thanks for hanging out here. And if you are a student, then yeah, I guess I have the role as a teacher in that case. I'm trying my best to, like, with the updates I provide, to also provide some education, teaching a thing or two. So yeah. Yeah, if conditions seem right, then I'm gonna add and lower my entry from 48.6k. Either that or I close the short, yeah. Yeah, smart. I mean, you got such a good entry at the high. You have so much possibility. Of course, like, trade management then becomes very important. So you have an amazing entry. The moment you hit big support, there's always the potential to TP, as we never know what price may do. If one catches a great short and it goes back to 49k, you're like, oh fuck, I should have. Even though the probabilities are not yet there for that to happen, and lower is still expected, medium term. But yeah, the moment you catch a good high or low, it's all about, it's just trade management. Know the big support or resistance areas where price might turn around, and yeah, those can be interesting TP areas as well. Samsonite. My backpack is Tumi, so I might look in. I'm probably going with Tumi. So I've had many backpacks, but I once got this is a funny story. So I got a Lamborghini backpack, I don't know, a few years ago. I was looking for a new backpack and I received one for, I don't know, what was it? Either birthday or whatever. Someone found a backpack, so they gave me a backpack. It broke in 2 weeks. So I sent it back and I got a new one. Broke in 2 weeks. And I was so done. I said to Lamborghini, you take your bag. You can maybe build cars. You can't build bags. Also, they don't do it. They just put their stamp on it. Such bad quality. And then I was like, I'm so fed up, I'm going to get Tumi. So, yeah, got the backpack. But I'm so happy with that choice. Like, fuck, it's the best. For me, it's such a good backpack. And therefore, I'm attached to the brand. The service was great. It's an amazing backpack. And yeah, I'll probably be looking for a suitcase of Tumi as well. I know Samsonite, as Samsonite is a brand that my parents use often as well. Pleasure, Sweet Hero Mining. How are you doing? Welcome. Good to have you here. Nice 43k retest. Yes. And a little bit of impulsivity here as well. Look at the volume. Interesting, no? Bit of volume here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd be interested to see if this eventually continues or turns into like a flat. A, B, C, grab the liquidity, move back up. Who was the one in chat that said, yo, the move off the lows looks like a 5-wave structure? Right? This low. I don't know what it was. 1, 2. So you... A, B. Me. No, I don't know. But yeah, you could have your 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Not 4 or 5. I would then prefer to see a flat, of course, in an A, B, C, high volume, and then turn it around if you're bullish. But I mean, the probabilities, of course, have been mentioned earlier. So we had quite a bit like quite a lengthy analysis part this stream as well. Doing the analysis, covering the scenarios here. Transporting a custom water-cooled computer is such a pain. I can imagine, but why would this be more of a pain compared to a regular computer? What's up with the water cooling, Lucas? You can't put it on its side and stuff. Is that what you mean? Mark, the like button showing massive bearish divergence. I don't know. I never ask for likes. If people you know what to do. Yeah, people know where the buttons are. So I rarely ever ask. I'm more giving. So everyone knows where the like is, or the sub, or support stuff, affiliate links or whatnot. So yeah, you have to drain it before. I see. Oh man, that can be a pain. I didn't even know. I never actually had a water-cooled system, so that's interesting. Their cars are trash too. All Italian cars. Oh, Mark. I mean, I do like them. Can't deny. So yeah. I love the sharp edges as well. I will Google it. Yeah, Ben and Chunk, check Tumi. It's a known brand in the bag industry, just like Samsonite and stuff. Yeah. Dumplings. I like some dumplings. I like some food. Bullish CVD. Can you take a look? Let's see. So yeah, first of all, right, as mentioned, you have this going on, right? The bullish CVD. So that is correct. Higher lows on price, lower lows on the CVD. Target this high, which of course we haven't reached yet. Now, as we just wicked over here, even above this high, the bearish CVDs are now invalidated locally. And you don't have bearish CVD with the actual high. So for bearish CVDs to form, we need more price action, more ranging, and then see if new bearish CVDs form or not. Because at the moment, we are then only left with the bullish one. But we, of course, have quite a rejection and move back below the point of control again. But this would fit the narrative of continuing the range. Bruno, okay, looks like a 5 wave. Yeah, in that case, I would be looking for a flat. So, I mean, this, of course, arguably ABC potential, 3-wave move to the upside, 3-wave move down. This can still become not a double zigzag, as now this retraced too high to the 0.7 at least. Did we hit the 886, by the way? Maybe just missed out on it. Oh, 886 touched. So any move to the downside has a higher probability of being a wave C or a wave Y, generally, no? But to cover your comment as well, if you're looking for a 5 wave here, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, A, B, C, flat structure, right? 1, 2, 3, continuation, invalidation below the low here. But this is 5-minute Elliott Wave stuff, of course. I prefer to stick around on at least 15 minutes, if not the higher time frames. 1 hour, 4 hour. With my analysis, I pretty much go from weekly all the way down to 15 minutes. Your point of control is your biggest resistance now again, locally. I always give you 2 likes with 2 accounts, or or do you like and then unlike? Stick to your Koen exec. Is that a pun intended, Mark? What is the bullish scenario to go towards 45k? 45k, that would be a wave C and an ABC, or of course a 1, 2, 3. But at the moment, that would be more like an ABC. So in that scenario, the bullish scenario would be from the low A, B, C. But so far, you still didn't hit your common target area for a wave B or 2, which can be reached, of course, in a flat or directly. But that's something we have to keep in mind. So if price does move up, right, as that has a continuation of the range / upside has higher probabilities. So we continue to keep an eye on it, but in the range at least. But if price does move up, most important is observing the reaction here, because you also have the daily gap here. I wouldn't mind just eventually, what I would like to see is before moving up, I would so before a significant move up, I would like to see the lows taken first, so that the people that are long are stopped. And then observe how and what, and then, but that's what I like to see. That is not based on, you know, any necessarily like argumentations or something. How to trade WXY correction if we have missed entry at the W wave at the start? Well, luckily with the WXY, a W is only the first wave. So afterwards, you still get an X and a Y. And if you look at a sideways corrective structure, WXY, so a sideways double combo, then there will be many areas, because you expect a sideways range. So with a WXY sideways correction, theoretically speaking, you just long the lows and short the highs, because you expect a sideways corrective structure. So that is pretty much the saying of trade the range until it breaks type of stuff. So if you have a finished W, because at the beginning you don't know you're going to be in a WXY, but if you have a potential finished W, and you're going to look for a WXY, then your best bet is to eventually look at the sub-degree of X and then short or long that. And look for when wave Y finishes, because the end of Y will give you the biggest move, right? Because then the correction is over and you would expect impulsive continuation to wherever you're going to go. Creating some bullish CVD on the recent move, yeah. But now with the volume as well, right? We want to see some local support preferably. Stop dreaming, 40k is coming. Yeah, we have some support at 40k. 39 to 40.1k is important. 1 like from the phone and 1 from the TV. I see. Multiple at the same time. If we take this spike high, it's likely the range is over. Probably, yes. You now also have a double top here locally. So I have a cup semifinals in soccer. Oh, good luck, B channel. Good luck, good luck. Okay, it's semifinal cup in soccer. Go win. Make us proud. End up in the final. I agree, John. If you take the high, likely the range is over. We've tested resistance there so often by now. Quite interesting to see a little bit of, at least a little bit of volatility and volume. I mean, so far it's not yet anything special, right? Move, 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 move. He's probably just a referee of the VAR. He's probably the VAR, sitting somewhere else in the Netherlands or in his country. I'm the coach. Of course, we're joking, right? But good luck, B channel. Come on, man, make us proud. You're a coach. You should let us know how it went in Discord. Like, let us know. Write about it. Motivate your team. Hopefully you prepared a motivational speech, right? Before the match starts, when you're still in the locker room and everyone is ready to go after the warm-up. You need to prepare those motivational speeches. Let someone film you and then let's go viral. Yeah. Only 3 leagues. What are we talking about? The last opponent 2 leagues. Jeez. I mean, shows the work that you've done, no? Shows the work that you've done. That's impressive. 2 leagues higher and now 3 leagues higher. I mean, the club you're like the club that you represent as a coach, right? Of course, you have the team, but you have a club or something, right? They must be very proud on what is happening. I want to see 2 broken clipboards by the end of the game. Yeah. Well, it's soccer though, so that's going to be a bit of an issue. Unless you shoot the balls on the score, like a digital scoreboard, somewhere. Okay, see ya, B-Channel. See ya. Good luck. Good luck. Go. One referee slightly yelled at. In Dutch, we say, with 2 fingers up the nose. Yeah. That is correct as well. Like, if it is so easy, you can do it with 2 fingers up the nose. Yeah. Like, pop, and then easy. One hand. But yeah, you don't really need you do need your hands in soccer, honestly. Like, because you wanna grab the shirts. Tell them, we're not here to play friendly, we're here to win. So if you gotta grab the shirt, cheeky, you're running, and then cheeky, like, pull on the shirt and do a little bit of, it's part of the game. You're here to win. We're not here to be kind, no? Fuck. Can't deny that I was that player. I'm 175. I'm not too big of a person, too tall. I'm not too tall. And I'm quite, I suppose I'm relatively lightweight. 175. So I can throw my body in, which was always fun. I don't really have to be too careful. But the agility I have was my strongest point when I played soccer. It's the agility and the acceleration, the speed. And whenever I had like bigger or taller opponents, I would definitely, I would, I would always, oops, there goes the mic. I would always be a little bit of a little bully. Never standing on toes and stuff, but just whenever we are running or we're battling, I would definitely try to grab a little bit of the shirt out of sight of the referee and stuff, so just a little bit. Yeah, I never got in a fight ever. I'm not that type of person on the field, so I do like to be respectful, but play within the lines, I suppose, right? Hypothetically. Just act like Louis van Gaal at Bayern. I don't know. What did he do at Bayern? You mean the Schwabe? Well, that was during the World Cup, no? His legendary moment where Louis van Gaal fell on the ground where he dropped himself. Louis van Gaal has been such a star as a coach, right? During that World Championship, penalty shootout, switching the goalkeepers. He was like, yeah, it's all statistics. We just got to put another goalkeeper in because based on data, he keeps more shots out of the goal than the other one. Which is actually very nice because that's the same in trading. Data. Yeah, we want to trade based on data. Moontime. John, are you counting a flat here? What's your 1 min? What a weird idiom. I know, right? Seems bullish from here. Yeah, let's be patient. Wir sind die Beste, nicht nur von München. Karate Kid. Actually, I have no idea what the status of soccer is in neither the UK or Germany, not even in the Netherlands, to be honest, because I don't follow it at all. I wouldn't know who's at the top at the moment. I only know that the beginning of the season, Ajax was very bad. They were at like position 17 or something. Aha! I set an alarm for myself to make sure that I leave the PC so that I'll be in Amsterdam in time. And that was my alarm. So, yeah, I pretty much have to go. BT so bullish, contact any low similar as it was 35-38k area. Yeah, but that range there constantly had indeed the high low, high low, high low, high low. That was, we were still in very much impulsive continuation. Now we are potentially, of course, in bigger corrective structure. So the context is a little different. But yeah, of course, if it takes the lows, then we have a weekly and the target box at 40k. Don't call it soccer. Football, soccer, yeah, I don't know. Both work. Ajax, my club. Now we have Van Schip and Henderson, so all good. I've got some football fans here. Okay, everyone. You may have heard or not heard my alarm, but I gotta move because I have to go to Amsterdam. Unfortunately, there won't be an update tonight. So the update is this live stream here. We pretty much covered everything regarding the range, though. I have to go to Amsterdam because my fiance resigned from her job. She's going the entrepreneurial route, and they have a farewell party for her. We're gonna have dinner and that sort of stuff. So yeah, I am invited to join, which I will. But that means I have to travel to Amsterdam. So trade safe in this range. If you do not have any clarity, then just be patient and wait for price action to show more about what it wants to do. We covered the Elliott Wave scenarios and the probabilities at the beginning of the stream. 11:30 was the beginning of the analysis. Thanks Factor Call for mentioning the time so that I could put it in a pinned comment as well. And then, yeah, let's see what price is going to give us. I'm going to be back tomorrow morning for another update on Bitcoin. That's going to be a video because, as you may have seen, the banner of my channel changed. It is now video in the morning, live stream in the afternoon if I can. And then we have in the evening a video or a live stream depending on price action. But tonight there will be nothing because I won't be home. So, John, I'll make sure to check the charts as I will have time while traveling as well to be active in Discord and you know, check what you all are up to. I'm always keeping an eye on Discord, not because I have to, because everything runs so smooth because of you, but just because I want to know, I want to participate in the discussions. That's what I like to do. So thanks everyone for being here. Thank you for the have fun wishes. And yeah, we're tomorrow during the live stream tomorrow. I can talk to you about everything that happens tonight. And tomorrow, do we have a live stream? Yes, we definitely gonna do a live stream tomorrow as well in the afternoon. But tomorrow night, actually, there's no. Yeah, there may be an update later. Well, that's something for tomorrow. But tomorrow, I come up with the stories of tonight. So let's see what we're gonna experience. Cheers. Have a good one.